Hi everybody, welcome to Plymouth, Massachusetts. Massachusetts has lots of history and we are going to start exploring some of that here today. Hey everybody, welcome to Tigner Adventures. We are in Plymouth, Massachusetts. This is where the
Pilgrims came.
And this is where
Plymouth
they landed.
Rock.
Yeah, and touched the rock here. This is where they actually landed back in 1620.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And
I wasn't around.
There's a lot of things going on around this area that we're in, Plymouth right here. We're going to go check out Plymouth Rock. I thought this one little display that we found right here, if you look here, this is just talking about this park that we're at. They came aground and created a settlement, and it was such a wicked winter that a lot of people started dying off, and they were hauling them off up the hill and burying them and then disguising. They do this at night. This, if you read this little display here, they did this at night. They disguise them so that people wouldn't know that they were in such bad shape and that they were losing all the colonies. You know, all the people were dying. So that was kind of an interesting little thing that we learned here, but there's more to it, so we're going to keep on going. The sign says we're walking on the very first street ever in the United States.
There's another sign.
Yeah, it's
Site of one of the houses built in 1621.
Yep. So we are in Plymouth, Massachusetts, just walking around the neighborhood, and the Mayflower, the big ship, the Mayflower, landed here in 1620. And so this was the area. They actually spent several days going around the harbor looking for, we're out on Cape Cod. Well, we're by Cape Cod. We're not actually we're not on the Cape right now, but this is where they were looking at to figure out where they should put in and make their first settlement. And so they finally chose this spot and came into here in 1620. And so we're going to go down here and see what is referred to as the famous Plymouth Rock. But this is where the ship was, you know, came to the land. I'm having a hard time with tongue twister today, but anyway, we're gonna get it then. So, oh, and she wants to show you this.
I find this interesting that the governor gave this lot to Peter Brown. We don't know who that is, and he built him a house on it. So obviously they gave everyone probably lots.
Yeah, that's how they used to do it, is they'd give out different lots and things.
This is our land now. Here you get some, we get some.
Yep, and so you got to make your homestead on here and everything. So that's what they did, so that they could, you know, make this nice little town. And lots happened during that whole time. But today is a special day too, because this is Memorial Day. So you're not going to see this video for a while, probably at least another week. But anyway, today is Memorial Day, and you know, we are thanking those that have served previously. And it wasn't just in the recent wars. I mean, there was wars going on from the very first time that we started in this country. So everything to make this country what it is today is being celebrated today. So we want to thank all those that have gone before us to make this all possible. And that was a real tough time back there in 1620. They really struggled to even get a settlement made over here. So that's what we're kind of checking out today. And they have this memorial set up here for the 104 passengers that died in Plymouth during the first year that they arrived here. Remember, I mentioned that, you know, as people were dying in this settlement, as they came aground and everything, and it was a real harsh winter, and they were dying, and they were taking them up and burying them. Well, they buried them up on this hill. Well, as years went by, the rains came and they started washing off all the dirt, and all the bones started being exposed, and they also washed the bones, and the big floods washed them down into the bay. And so what they did was they gathered those all up and they put them into this memorial here to kind of keep track of it a little bit. So that's pretty interesting how that all worked out. So we're up on the hill here overlooking the bay here, going out there to the Cape. And this is where the Pilgrims came in. So I'm sure things have changed dramatically over the years compared to what it was when they first showed up here. But can you imagine, the Mayflower sailing in here for its first time, finding this place to land, and making this that spot? That's what this little memorial down here is symbolizing. So we have arrived at the rock. This is Plymouth Rock. So enclosed in this memorial building is this rock right here. This is Plymouth Rock, 1620. That's when they landed, and this became a settlement of the new country. So the ranger said that this, back in that day, a long time ago, remember, that this was just one straight long beach. So things have definitely changed. And the only rock that was on that beach was this rock. So that's why
there was a rock.
That's why they named it Plymouth Rock. So now we know the rest of the story. Things definitely look different now, don't they? It's all been redone, rocks brought in, built up for all the different boats out here. And that sandbar is out there now. So way past that sandbar that's right in front of us. They call that like a Long Island. Anyway, that's Cape Cod out that way. So this was part of that whole area back in 1620. Here is the Mayflower. Could you imagine being on that ship from England all the way across the ocean to here? It's not that big. And just to clarify things, this is a replica of the original Mayflower. This is the Mayflower II. England built this back in 1957, and it sailed over here. And it was a gift to Americas for their help in World War II. So that's kind of cool, but that's exactly what it looked like. So that's pretty cool, and that is small for the amount of people that were on there to have to travel all the way across. It wouldn't matter how many people were on there, just traveling all the way across the ocean. So it took 66 days for the Mayflower to sail from England to Plymouth. And there was 102 passengers on this ship for those 66 days. So that was 102 very determined people to settle a new world. So brave people, yes. Very hardworking people. Look at these different coins. Duplicates of what they used to have. I don't know about that one, but pretty cool. The blooms, I guess, I don't know. A little bit of everything in this little shop. We're just walking down the street here. All kinds of different little gift shops and things here. Different options, places to eat. Just in this little area of Plymouth, right by the Plymouth Rock. Nice little gift shop right here. Some shirts, pretty good price. $10 for a shirt. Plymouth, Massachusetts. So this is another park. This was erected by the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. So in memory of the heroic women of the Mayflower. 1620. This is a map of the town and all the different little places around. You can definitely make it a day activity here. Parking though is maximum 4 hours. So they also have a museum that you can go to called the Pilgrim Home Museum. It's 2.5 miles down the road from here. That finishes our little tour of Plymouth, Massachusetts.
That's pretty fun.
We've been coming to Boston for probably 30 years. We've been coming here, and we have done a lot of historic things all around Boston, mainly Boston. We've gone up to the witch trials in Salem, but this is the first time that we've really been down here around Plymouth Rock. There was a lot here, a lot to see and to learn, so we really had a lot of fun. Hopefully you did too. So thanks for coming along with us today. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll just hope to see you down the road somewhere or on our next video. So see you later.
Bye.